Welcome to Bourbon with Bros. Live bourbon and the stories are meant to be shared. Yeah, it's Bourbon with Bros. Stories get bold. Little truth and a little soul. Back porch laughs and tales untold. Pour one up with Bourbon with Bros.
Welcome to another episode of Bourbon with Bros. I'm Jim. We have Jason, Toby, and Chris, as always. And in honor of National Military Appreciation Month, we have two special guests with us today. We have Sam and Mike. Sam, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Sam, member here at 1079. I was in Korea 3 years, 8 years total in the infantry. Pretty much.
We'll get more out of you. We'll ask you more questions. Don't worry about it.
I'm Mike. I'm a 30-year Air Force veteran. Joined in November of 1989. Retired in November of 2019. So I've been retired about 6.5 years now. Started off as a C-130 aircraft mechanic crew chief for about 14 years, and then retrained to become a C-130 flight engineer for the last part of my career. Multiple deployments around the world, multiple assignments. So a little bit of everything, see a little bit about the world. So it was interesting. It was fun.
And Jim, tell us a little bit about your time.
I was in the Army, got deployed to Desert Storm back in 1990 and got out in 1991. So several of us here really want to focus this episode on general mental health, but specifically veteran suicide awareness. So that's why we have the guests on here today. Mike was a VSO for several years, so he does have more information than the rest of us on the whole veteran process and some of the resources that are available for veterans going through turbulent times when they return home or throughout the rest of their life. So I think we'll start off with a pour, and then we'll get into a couple of questions.
Shane, you want to grab that bottle for us?
Oh, you want to do that?
We'll start off with the lighter one.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll do the cork pop on that one for us. This is a Hooten Young 12. All right, it's a 12-year whiskey. It's a 92 proof. Okay. There we go. Start pouring. This is a veteran-owned distillery. The guy that it's named after, he was a senior master sergeant, I think. Master Sergeant Norm Hooten, who was a Delta Force operator. They actually had a kind of a character in him in the movie Black Hawk Down. They called him Hoot. It was played by Eric Banya. He was the Delta Force guy that was standing there and had his finger up. Somebody said, "Get your finger away from that trigger, put the safety on." He goes, "This is my safety." But so he created this. He was a 20-year vet in the service, got out, actually was with the VA for a few years, and then created this. So this will be our start. And we can lead that right into, our first question for these guys. So Mike, Jim said you were more into the, into the after part of it with, talking about the suicides and stuff and stuff. Tell us what really brought you to do this with us today.
After I retired, the disconnect of separating from the military, you kind of get lost. You get away from military installation, you get away from bases or posts, wherever your situation is, and you kind of get lost into the general population of civilian life, where you don't have the support network of being around friends and other military members. So after 2 years being retired, I went to become a county veteran service officer in Huron County, actually. And when I started working with veterans and their families coming in, you realize how much veterans didn't know what they didn't know. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what questions to ask, because the communication is, I say it's poor when you're in, it's even worse when you get out. Nobody's reaching out to you, so when people come in, you become the focal point to try to give them all the resources and information that you now have the knowledge of, to point them in a lot of different avenues, not just in the VA, but in the local county, in the state, that they're just not aware of. So you're trying to pass along all the knowledge that you now have to try and give them different resources. Not all, sometimes they just need different things. I know here, I worked with people here in Lorain County at their Veteran Service Office. They have a program here, whether it's mental health, like dealing with music, working with music, whether it's sports, whether it's art, trying to find something that will connect with a veteran to other veterans to help them go through mental health, whatever it is to make that connection. That's what's important.
Let's take a break and news this bourbon.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it.
That's got a lot going on for a 92 proof bourbon.
I said I already cheated, I drank.
Anybody want to talk about any of the notes you got on the news?
On the nose, definitely getting there's a lot of those butterscotch notes, a lot of caramel, even some of the, almost like a vanilla buttercream frosting, kind of on the edge.
The sweetness.
Vanilla buttercream
Yes.
frosting, not just buttercream.
Did I mention I was hungry because I've been dieting?
They got us on the right side of the table this time. We're together, so we can just let them two talk about
You
it.
know, the sweetness, I do have the vanilla.
What's that?
She's thick.
Well, it's kind of that, like,
Definitely,
not just like the vanilla, it's that kind of overly sweet. It reminds me of like, cupcakes.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
What'd you taste in it, Sam?
I don't know.
You like me and
It's-
Toby, you just enjoy it?
It's sweeter. It's a good bourbon. It goes down real easy. I don't know. Sometimes I can pick up some notes or whatever, but most of the time it's either good or it's not.
He's on the right side.
Amen to that.
He's on the right side of the table. here.
Amen to that.
the right spot, because we're the same way.
Is that it's thick. She's oily.
Yeah, it is.
And it stays on the tongue for a while.
That's when you don't feel like you gotta just keep drinking.
Yes, it stays in your mouth, it doesn't go farther than that. It just-
It's only 92 proof, so it's
Yeah.
not too hot. It's gonna.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot of
It
definite flavor
lingers,
for only
yeah,
being
it definitely
92.
lingers around.
It's definitely got a very complex flavor for a 92 proof. I mean, if you think back a couple weeks ago when we were drinking those 90 proofers where they were good, but they're just thin, right? You get the flavor, then it just dissipates immediately. This one hangs around for a minute.
It's there.
It's a 12 year, so it's gonna have that complexity of,
Yeah.
you
Been in the barrel a long time.
Yep.
Good finish to it.
Do we want to rate it, or we want to?
Let's talk a little while.
Let's talk
Sit
about
down
it
and talk some more about
So
Sam's and
Did you have any real issues when you left the military adapting to civilian life?
Well, so, like I got out in '93. Within a year, I lost my mom. I got divorced. I became a single parent, and then I got out of the Army. So it was there was a lot to adjust to, but we worked through it. That's what we do.
Did you find help from somebody, or did you just kind of thought you just had to manage through it?
You just gotta suck it up and drive on. But over time, you build your community. You run into guys who served and lifelong friendships.
So folks like me, like I didn't serve, and can say thank you for everything you did, all that stuff. I can tell you that all the time, but I don't understand it. So what are some things like people like me that didn't serve that we just wouldn't understand about some of the things that you deal with post-military?
I think
The brotherhood.
the structure, and maybe I don't think it depends on how, I guess it really doesn't matter how long you serve, whether it be 2, 10, 20, 30 years, whatever. The military is very structured. They tell you where to be, when to be, and when you show up somewhere, you already know what you're already set up. You already have a job, you already have people there you work. It's already there. Even though you may be moving every 2 or 3 years, you're already established when you get there. It's just, you're packing up one box, unpacking a box,
Chef
and
on
you're going.
paperwork.
So that's when, for me, that was my life for 30 years. So that my disconnect when I retired was that for 30 years, I was completely, I was disconnected. I felt lost, and I was coming to somewhere. I mean, I came to Ohio. I didn't live here. I'm not from here, so I wasn't coming back to hometown and high school friends or nothing like that. My wife has family here, and that's who I knew. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And then we rolled right into COVID, which really closed down the community.
Oh, Lord.
So it was very. It was a little difficult. Luckily, I had a very strong home network, which was good. Before COVID started, the town I live in, I live in Huron, they started up a little bit of a veteran thing, so I started meeting a couple people, but then COVID shut everything down, and we went into that. But then I started boating, and, well, I'll say we met by accident.
So you want to go from the Air Force to the Navy, is what you're saying?
It was a slight little...
Just
Boat bumped into the other boat, I guess?
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Something like that.
I just put on a new swim ladder on my swim platform, and we weren't there that weekend, and my
We
phone's
can laugh
blowing
about
up.
it
Some guy just wrecked your boat. I was like, son of a bitch.
now. Some guy wanted to sell his boat in the river.
And then, so the next weekend we got down there, and Jim actually walked over and looked at my boat. He was like, nothing, you're good. I was like, okay. The next weekend, Mike walks over with a bottle of bourbon and an apology. I was like, here we go. We just made new friends.
I mean, when we laugh about it now,
Yeah,
obviously, we laugh about it, and we think about it. If it didn't happen, well, we still have met.
Right,
And
right.
we'd like to think so. Obviously, being veterans, you kind of gravitate to your own people. Obviously, bourbon doesn't,
It plays an
help,
impact, it really does.
But you think you kind of find your community eventually,
Yeah.
your people. And it just, I think even if that wouldn't happen, it probably would have happened.
The marina,
Yeah,
the marina
so.
brought all of us together.
Yeah.
Jim, there was a flood at the marina,
Okay.
and we were down there and they were gone. His dock box blew open and his shit is floating everywhere. I was like, well, let me go over here and pick this up. So we picked it up, and then I seen him at the top of the hill, and I was like, hey buddy, I don't mean to be in your shit, I'm not trying to be in your business, but the shit was floating off. I grabbed it up. He was like, you have permission to get in my shit anytime you want. And then he was like, you drink bourbon? I was like, yeah. There were times we had some shit going on at the marina. They'd be sitting around, the humidor would come out, and then before you knew it, there were 8 different bottles of bourbon on the bar.
Yeah.
And
I think we have pictures of that somewhere. We'll try to.
Sounds like a good night right there.
oh yeah,
I think
real good nights.
Probably another part of your question is, you can't quit in the military. As much as you go back to your, back to your house or back to your dorm or your barracks or wherever, and say you're going to quit, you're going to show back up tomorrow.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to quit.
You want to quit, but you
Yeah,
just
but
can't.
you're going to stay until the job is done or whatever. I mean, you're just not going to quit. You're going to stay until your contract is up. And most people, I'm going to quit, and then they go sign their paperwork for another, 2, 4, 6 or whatever years, because that's where they're at.
I'm out. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
To add to that, Toby, to your question, there's up on the wall here in the VFW, I'm going to paraphrase this, maybe you'll grab a picture of it later. It basically says that every veteran writes a blank check, up to and including the cost of their life, to defend this country. And I think a lot of people don't realize, they say, well, you just went in to go to college, or you were in trouble, just wanted to get away from home. Well, they don't realize that the ultimate cost of you signing up could be that you're giving up your freedom and possibly your life. And
Both my kids served. My son went first, then my daughter went. But I had to talk with them beforehand. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna go, you need to go for the right reasons. I said, you may find yourself in a country you've never heard of, defending people that hate you, and you may not come back, physically or mentally. And if you're okay with that, then I'm okay with that. And they both said, I'm okay with that, and they went. And that's
Outstanding. That's the kind of stuff that, people like me that don't serve, I mean, we don't, you can think about that, but you really don't take that into consideration a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think that deep about it.
I think there's people that today that probably don't think about that either. When they sign that piece of paperwork, they don't think
Right,
about
yeah.
that. They're going to get that call and are going to have to go to those places and kick down doors. You know, they're thinking, oh, that's not going to be me. And when the call comes, it is them.
Yeah.
It becomes reality.
Absolutely.
You know, some people crave on it and other people are not ready for it. So.
I wasn't. I signed up to get a college fund.
Yeah.
Surprise.
So as, you know, veterans in the service, and especially like 30 years in there, what have you seen from when you signed up in the structure to today's military? You know, because I mean, like we're some old school guys, right? I mean, we're all up in our 50s and whatnot, and we've kind of seen how civilization has kind of rolled over. How is it in the military?
We need more whiskey before we
Pass that down.
stops me from swearing.
So my wife is a veteran also. We came at the same time. We met in the military. We kind of talked about this. It's interesting. If we could do it again and go back and how it changed from 1989 to 2019, the military, doesn't really matter what service, is kind of, and this is my own opinion, has really kind of changed to, how would you say, bend to society on the outside, for good or bad, to allow more people to come in to meet the numbers, I guess. You know, it is what it is. You know, we need military, so they lessen their requirements, their standards. Yes. There's a lot of things towards the end of my career, and I was like, whew. You had to take it, you had to close the door and go, wow, I have to take a step back and I have to take a breath and go, I cannot treat that individual the way I was treated when I came in, because it was not going to go over. Right. You know, being in a maintenance truck on a flight line, the way I was treated by some E5s and E6s and E4, it just wasn't going to go over. So being, at E8, E9 at the end of my career, I was not going to be able to talk to those individuals the way I was talked to back then. It wasn't going to happen. So luckily I had, I have a young, well, not young anymore, a 29-year-old son. But at my time in my career, I was able to have conversations with him to go, okay, I was able to talk to him, so now I have to talk to them the same way I talked to him. Right. Because it's the same generation. It was 20-year-olds. So that kind of helped matters to go, why is he thinking that way? Why are they thinking that way? Okay, now how do I deal with this? So that kind of helped things.
About how your kids would handle or deal with that.
Yeah, because it just, I have friends that, they get in trouble because they were still in the old school mindset, the way they talk to people, and they got yanked. It just, it's not, no fault of their own. They were set in their ways. It just was, they weren't able to adapt to today's society of military. It is the way it is.
My son, we were sitting one night talking, and he's like, it's not your army anymore, Dad.
Right. Yeah.
It was like, things have changed. And then at the end of his career, not career, but his 7 years, he was like, and I don't know if I'm going to get you guys in trouble over this or not, but he goes, Dad, if I got to sit through one more damn transgender sensitivity briefing, I'm going to hurt somebody.
My son's still in. He's on his 5th year now. I ousted. And he kind of said the same thing. We came from kind of a military family. Jim served. I went in, but was released in boot camp for medical. But he always told us since he was 6 years old that he wanted to be in the Army. So kind of gave him all the stuff that I knew and how they treated me when I went in '89. And he got in there the first day and he's like, Dad, like this, you treated us so much worse getting me prepared for this, and it's nothing.
This is easier than going to grandma's house.
It's true too.
My daughter said, the drill sergeants were nothing. You were way meaner.
Yeah. The mindset.
Yeah.
What you set yourself up for.
Right. Why don't we rate this bourbon so we can pour another one, and then we'll kind of get into more about the suicide awareness part of it.
What are you getting on?
So we'll start with Toby. We do
Right.
1 to 4 normally because there's 4 brothers here.
Right.
Yeah.
Today
So
there's six
that's-
brothers.
I watched them,
So did I.
all of them.
This one, to me, this is a really good tasting. I mean, again, I still don't have those notes, but for me, I'm about a 3.0. I really like, I like the higher proof stuff. This is a 92 proof. I enjoy it. It's right there in that wheelhouse of one of my favorites of the Buffalo Trace, but it's, I'd rather it be a little bit higher.
See, you guys have kind of now got me into being a proof snob, right? But
Please, it's proof queen.
such a queen, such a queen. But you know, at a 92 proof, it definitely just sits there on your tongue. I'm getting like the more it sits there, and I mean, I'm usually probably gone. You've already got two of them down, so you know. But I don't feel like I need to just keep drinking it. I still have the flavor in the mouth, so I like it a lot. This is kind of more in my wheelhouse. I'm at like a 3.3 on this one.
That's a real easy sipper. That is a sit by the fire and have a cigar, and you can go all night with that.
I like the way you think, Sam.
So
As we go along?
Yeah.
I brought 2 cigars with me
At
today.
least 3, you know, at least 3.
Yeah, it's easy. It's an easy drink. It's very enjoyable. It's smooth. I like the way it just stayed with you. I like it. I'd say it's probably the same thing as probably about, I'm with Chris, probably 3.3. I'm enjoying it. I would definitely buy it. I would definitely drink it. Have it at the house for sure.
I smell and taste the cigar now. This would actually match really well with the cigar. It's a lot more complex flavor than what I thought it was going to be out of this. I've had a couple other Hooten Youngs. I like them, but even though it's not a higher proof, I'm going to give this like a 3.2.
I'm not too far off from the rest of you guys. I mean, for a 92 proof, this is a lot more complex in the flavor than I would have expected. Get a lot of that solid oak on the back end. The only thing I miss, even at a 12-year, I would have loved a little bit longer finish. That finish, as soon as you get it in the mouth, it just drops off a cliff immediately. If it had a little bit harder of a finish, this could be a 3.4, 3.5 for me. I'm right about a 3. It's a great sip, but it just leaves me wanting a little bit more in the end.
You like a little bit in the throat, don't you?
Just because I grew up on naval bases doesn't mean you have to make that joke every time, okay?
All right, guys, so back for part 2 here real quick. We're going to have another pour, keep talking with Sam and Mike here a little bit more about veteran suicide awareness. I know we haven't really touched on that so far yet, but Jason, why don't you tell us what you brought for us tonight?
Sure. So this is the Combat Infantryman badge bourbon from Mattingly distillery down in Kentucky. They're actually located right across the street from Buffalo Trace. So actually, Toby and I were down there. What, for your 50th birthday? Was it 2-3 years ago?
About 2 years, 2.5 years.
So it's not a veteran-owned distillery, but the guy that owns it, his name is Jeff Mattingly. His entire family has a strong military background. So he does every month a different bottle that he exclusively themes for the military. He's done a Mogadishu Mile bottle. He's done a Navy SEAL bottle. He's done a combat medic bottle. And then 70% of the profits from that bottle go towards the charity for whatever it's themed for. So he's very strong as a supporter of what he's doing. So typically most of their stuff is sourced. They source from MGP in Indiana, and then they blend in-house. Actually, when Toby and I were down there, we got to meet the master blender, and what was supposed to be a 10-minute tasting turned into us getting drunk for 2 hours. But
That shit happens.
oh yeah, it's great when it does. It's great when it does. But this is a 6-year bourbon. This is 116 proof, so this is gonna have a little bit more of a kick to it. This is probably one of the better ones I've had from them. I don't know the mash bill off the top of my head, so I will look it up, and you'll see it in the corner of the video as we're talking here. But I mean, you can tell right off the rip, looking at it just from a color standpoint, even aged 6 years compared to the 12 years in that Hooten Young, it's a much darker, much more amber bourbon. Because it's got that much higher proof to it.
It looks nice.
What are you getting on the nose, Jim?
Very corny ethanol.
A lot of his blends are higher in corn. I've got one at home. He calls it the Frankfurt Hayride. It's a 99% corn, 1% wheat bourbon. It's 137 proof and drinks like it's 105. Oh, it is dangerous.
It's a little spicy.
Yeah, I'm curious. I had to look up the mash bill for this, but I would not be surprised if there's at least a 10% rye in this. It's definitely got a little bit of that pepperiness on the nose.
A little bit of heat to it, yeah.
So they work on that ethanol, get the corn back. The ethanol, I don't.
Definitely a lot of corn on the taste.
Yep.
Not in a bad way.
That is a little higher rye. I can taste it.
Yeah, you get that little bit of white pepper from the rye.
Yep.
But then it really, on the back end, it does sweeten up some. You get a little bit of that red fruit on the backside, and for 116 proof, I'm surprised.
These guys are always talking like that. I just got to deal with it, I guess.
Why did I choose to sit next to him today, too? I mean, you think
They keep us separated for a reason.
It's called the restraining order.
We used to call each other the good brother, and if you know us, there's a reason behind it. But it's kind of weird there.
I thought this would have a little bit longer finish, being 116 proof. It's a little bit longer than that Hooten Young, but it's not.
The second sip is not as,
It still first kind of stops right about here. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
really
does.
come all the way down to
Yeah.
the chest.
the second is a lot nicer than the first
You get a
one.
little
Yeah.
hug on it.
Yeah. But it just does kind of die though.
It's more like a side hug from that girl that doesn't really want to spend time with
Yeah.
you.
But then
You can tell I'm familiar with that.
you hung a blue cord on it. You expect it to be a little rough. That's not
So Mike, I know, like, obviously Jim's my brother, everybody knows that, but, when he got out of the service, and just recently, I know that he's been going to more of the VA stuff and using some of his benefits and looking into it. Jim, what would you have liked to have known, 10 years, 20 years ago, and as far as where you needed to go? And like, after that, can you kind of expand on some of those resources that are available, or that, you want to get that message to these guys?
So one of the things I do want to mention that's really been on my heart is how important it is that support people when they come home. I had a decent support system. Our father and a lot of his friends were Vietnam veterans. So when I came home, they actually threw a welcome home party for me. I joined the VFW and kind of hung out with the older group, my dad's friends. So I did have some support, but I didn't realize how important having the support like we have here. I have a couple different groups now, the Bourbon with Bros, and then a couple of military friends. And I didn't really seek that out when I first got out of the military, and I wish I had. I think it would have made a big difference in my acclimation to civilian life. And I think it's important that a lot of the guys that are actually involved in Operation Fury now, and some of the other guys that maybe didn't serve in a war zone, when they come home, find a VFW or an AMBETS or an American Legion, and find a group of guys to hang out with.
Find your people.
Yeah,
Find your people.
absolutely.
Yeah, my dad's a retired Master Chief in the Navy, and I remember growing up as a kid. Anytime you had a problem, the first thing he would say is, "Get up, nobody's coming." Like, kind of handle your problems yourself, get it taken care of. But then when he got out, similar to what Jim said, and that structure disappeared. And then when he found his people, his tune completely changed. And it wasn't "get up, nobody's coming," it was "go find your tribe." Because at the end of the day, we talk about it all the time. There's plenty of things we have to do on our own. There's plenty of times we have to shoulder all the burdens on our own. But you've got to have those guys you can count on that can pick you up when you're down.
And to that, it's not just you want those guys around you, because they may need you. And you sharing your story with them and your troubles with them may bring something out in them that says, "Hey, bro, I feel you. I've been feeling like this. I thought it was just me.
There's a community of veterans out there that are there for you to listen
Absolutely.
and share experiences, and they're not going to judge you. They're going to listen without question, without judgment,
Right.
and walk through, regardless of what generation, what service they are.
That's it.
They're there for you.
Leading right into
So-
Irreverent Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to segue into that
course.
right now, but Irreverent Warriors is a great organization. It's not about suicide awareness. It's about veteran suicide prevention. Everybody's aware that it's happening. Everybody's aware that we're losing 22 a day. But this is about prevention, and that's the camaraderie, and everybody's joking. You're in a pair of silkies. Jim and Mike have both walked with me. And they know, you strip it down, and it's a hell of a sight. People are scared when we walk through. That's a funny story. Cleveland hike. We're coming out of a restaurant on West 25th, or down the Ohio City area, right by the market. And this woman, it's like we're just flooding out, and it's all these guys in rucks and shorts, and there's, everybody, and she's like petrified. It's like, it's funny because that's probably the safest place in the world that woman could ever be.
Oh, yeah.
It's unexpected.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's to that. The camaraderie. Like I've met people from the Pittsburgh hike. I still talk to all the time. We just pull shit back and forth on Facebook. Reaching out to the community. Find your people. At the beginning of the hike, they pass out playing cards. You draw from 2 different decks. And then through the day, it's the icebreaker. You're walking through and you're going, hey, what's your card? Oh, I got the ace of spades. Oh, I'm the queen of hearts. So it gets people talking. And then when you find the guy who's got the same card as you, or the girl who's got the same card as you, then you can exchange information. Hey, if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here.
Ranger buddies.
No judgment.
Outstanding. Yeah.
Understanding. It's just, and that's what it's about. And it's about laughing and having a good time and being together. And he said he felt kind of alone when he got out. That's when people get in trouble. When you feel alone.
It's funny what your, and I don't like the word entitled, what are your earned benefits as a veteran? They're earned, right? You signed up, whether your generation, you're drafted, or in our period, you went and physically signed up. You made a conscious effort to go do that. So they're earned benefits. What are your earned benefits? Find out what those earned benefits are, and the best way to do that, whether it's part of a veteran organization, the VFW, American Legion, whatever. And the best part about Ohio is there's 88 counties in the state of Ohio, and each county has a veteran service office. Is to go see a veteran service officer, go see an accredited veteran service officer to find out what your earned benefits are. Take your DD-214 in there, find out where you're at, see what benefits you've earned. Those are earned benefits based on your service. And then they have resources that they get, hey, these are your federal benefits, these are your state benefits, but there's also county benefits, there's county resources that may be available to you because of your time served. So a lot of counties, it's all based on tax and property tax, where they get their budget, that they can do things to have resources to go do trips, veteran organizations, gatherings. Right. A lot of them, so being a previous veteran service officer, I'm kind of biased on this. Not a little more knowledgeable, but a lot of county offices now are going to, I kind of mentioned earlier, going to like Operation Guitars and doing things for music and bringing veterans in where they get a guitar and they provide guitar lessons for mental health.
On that, the Lorain County VSO,
phenomenal.
They give you 10 free lessons.
Yes. I think it's 10.
Oh, that's outstanding.
And then if you complete all the lessons, you keep the guitar they give you.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
And it costs you $0.
Yeah, as long as you show up to every lesson. So a lot more counties are doing that. They're going off of that because music is a soothing thing for mental health.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The Ohio Department of Veterans Services, they last year they had a thing about submitting art. It's a soothing thing for mental health. There's the equestrian type stuff, there's
Right.
golf, there's sports, whatever, there's fishing, there's
PGA
hunting.
Hope.
PGA Hope, helping, I just talked to somebody about this earlier, helping our Patriots, I have a cord, but it's all, I hate to say it's free, but it's all about mental health for veterans. It's getting, you have to find what's important to you. Is it sports, is it art, is it music, is it being around animals to help you engage, to get you out, one, be with other veterans, but also it's a mental health soothing thing to help you get through those times, but also it's engaging. It's not, sometimes it's not about alcohol, right? Because our, let's just say, generations have changed. Not everybody's all about drinking now,
Yep.
so it is about finding other avenues to find, to get you through things. Instead of, and here we are drinking bourbon, so I don't want it to be negative, but it's not finding the answer sometimes in the bottom of a bottle. It's
Right.
not.
No.
No,
Right.
when the bourbon is the conduit for the conversation with brothers,
Yes.
that's one thing.
Yes.
When you're holed up in a dark corner by
Absolutely.
yourself with the bottle, that's when you need those brothers to pull you out.
And that's exactly. So
100%.
There's other avenues out there.
Right.
And that's what, like I said in the beginning, veterans, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what questions to ask. We don't know what's out there. So go find those organizations, those communities that do have those resources, whether it's the Post, the VFWs, the American Legions, or the Veteran Service Offices that have those resources and those communities.
Is this a personal? Like I was
We run into each other.
right. I was that guy. I'm like, I got brothers who lost legs, arms. Let them have the money. The VA, that's who they need to take care of. I'm good. I lost some hearing. I can't smell things. My stuff don't work. My knees are bad, but I'm good. I can walk. I can function. There's other brothers out there who can't, and leave that for them. And then I run into this guy.
Yeah. And you find
he's like,
some
no.
of the worst scars are the ones you can't see. Right?
Well, and that's what I talked to Sam, I talked to Jim, and I talked to a lot of veterans that come in there, and sometimes I would say probably 70% of the veterans that came into my office, unfortunately, a lot of Vietnam veterans, for the very first time, were ever coming in for their earned benefits. They're like, this is the first time I'm coming in. It's like, wow, you missed out on decades, and I get it. They came back to a bad situation. And they're negative, so I get it. I get where they're at, and obviously the law has been very slow to allow them to catch up to things. We've lost a lot of veterans in a time period. So here you are. So let's find out what are your earned benefits or where you're at. Now here we are. Let's go. And they're like, well, I don't want to take away from anybody else. So you kind of paint it in a box like this, and this is it kind of explained to me when I first started as a county veteran service officer. So I kind of do the same thing. When you were either drafted or you signed up, the government created a box with your name on it, and they start putting money in it. And every year they put money in it, and at the end, they keep on putting money in it. Nobody can take that money out, and except for you. It's there for you. You're not taking money away from anybody else. They're not taking it away from you. It's almost like workman's comp, if you look at it that way. It's an earned benefit based on you being broken by the government. So that is your earned benefit.
Something there for you to use.
Yes.
It is. And I've had, I can tell you a story of one or two Vietnam veterans, and they both just kind of blew my mind. One guy was a door gunner, and he got shot down in a crash. He's got 2 bullet holes in both forearms, one in his neck, missing kneecap, and he's 10% for tinnitus. Right?
10% rating.
And I'm like, how?
That's a little.
And the way the rating system is, and talking to this gentleman, he's 72, and so I'm like, hey, what about this? What about that? Mental health, and he's like, absolutely not. And his reason wasn't based on how I was saying. He's like, I go to the VA, and he goes, I see other veterans, and I see that they're missing limbs. I said, yeah, but you don't know their story. Just like they don't know your story. So why? He's like, I've been dealing with this for this many decades. I said, okay. I mean, you can't force people, So like maybe in 5 days, maybe in 5 weeks, maybe in 5 months, maybe in 5 years, you'll come back and you'll press through. But that's just his mindset. And unfortunately, that's a lot of that generation.
Yeah.
They feel that way. They're like, I don't want to take anything away from anybody else.
Right.
And so you kind of break it down to them and go, hey, this is your box of money that's there. You're not taking away from anybody else. You're not taking away from you. You're just letting the government just sit on your money and you're not doing anything about
I don't
it.
think it's only that. I think there's two other factors. One, we're men. We were brought up, throw some dirt on it, move on.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, and then in the military, you gotta push on. You can't lay down because you got a hangnail.
Here's an
You gotta move
800,
on.
here's an 800 Ivy, and change your socks,
Change your
drink
socks
some
and water.
water, and you'll be good.
Yeah, I think that's a double whammy for guys and women coming out of the military. You don't have that choice sometimes.
I agree.
And I think it's important for people to realize that when they get out of the military, you have to drop that shield and let somebody else hold it for you.
And on that factor, exactly that, is I read something recently of that factor is we're trained to be a team, and it's frowned upon to be an individual and ask for help. And it carries over after you get out. It's frowned upon. You're weak if you're asked for help. So yeah, it carries over when you get out. You're weak of asking for help. So here we are.
CMP exam, she grabs my leg, and she twists, and she leans in, and she was like, "Does that hurt?" I was like, "Oh, damn, man, it ain't real goddamn comfortable." She was like, "Uncomfort is pain." I was like, "No, it's just uncomfortable."
Yeah. But that becomes a norm. A lot of it becomes a norm. You push it with this long. What's the norm?
Right.
Is the norm a 5 rating every day? 1 to 10?
I don't want to stay like this for very long, but I'll get through it. But I can make it happen.
I mean, everybody has a different threshold, but,
Yes.
you know, it comes down to what is your threshold?
Yeah.
So Sam, my question for you guys, obviously, as Toby mentioned, I'm kind of in the same boat as Toby. Grew up in military bases, but didn't serve myself. So for guys like us that didn't get the chance to serve, how can we help?
Dude, just be you. Don't judge me. Never.
Sam, you always have a statement. If you see somebody wearing a veteran hat, welcome home.
Welcome home, brother.
And
Welcome
thank 'em.
home. Just a simple welcome home. Most of the old guys, the Vietnam guys, when they came home, they weren't.
They weren't welcome.
A lot of them have still never heard it.
And that's, so I tell them all the time, welcome home, brother. Glad to have you.
Love it.
Kind of puts a light in their eyes when you see them, when you do that. When you see them in the grocery stores and stuff like that, it kind of catches them off guard. Because obviously they become very proud to wear that Vietnam veteran hat now.
Right.
The times have changed.
Yep.
But when you do say that, you're right, their face lightens up a little bit, their eyes, you see a little bit of a flicker in their eyes, like, wow, I am recognized as somebody. So it's a good point.
Yeah.
It's very,
Whether or not we agree with whatever war or government puts us in, we have no choice when we get deployed there.
No.
We're there doing
Disagreements with the politicians, never with the folks that have to go deal with the outcomes.
we still feel like we're defending
Yes.
our Constitution, the people that live here.
Well, you're fighting for the guys that you're left and your right.
Yes.
The government put you there. You didn't have any choice. So y'all want to come home. Y'all want to come home together.
Absolutely.
But ours is not the reason why. Ours is just to do and die.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then I think
But-
I'm gonna do a plug here for Lorraine County Veteran Service Office.
That was actually what I was
supporting. Yeah. So this is the 5th year of Lorraine County Veteran Service Office. It's really has blown up Lorraine County. They do the Revs 22, the Race Against Veteran Suicide. This is like the 5th year. This is November 14th, 2026. Jacob Smith and Crystal Meyer has been running this.
Shout out to Crystal.
Crystal, yeah, the officer, phenomenal. Crystal is phenomenal.
She's my girl.
I went to school with her as veteran service officers, and just a phenomenal office over there. So this year, Revs 22, 11K, 2.2K run, walk, ruck, held on Saturday, November 14th. You can look at our website. This year is the year of the Marine Corps. Last year was the Coast Guard, so they already have their medals made. You can go to our website. There'll be a sign-up thing.
Next year's going to be Space Force.
I think it's good. I kind of alluded a little bit to what next year, but I'm not going to drop and get ahead of them. But yeah, we went to the very first one.
Yes.
We were all there, but to see how it's grown,
Yes. Yes, it's
over
amazing.
the last 5
It's
years.
amazing. There's so many people who want to be involved with
Lorraine
this.
County has drastically come behind the community of veterans here, which is phenomenal. It's just in politicians and people and organizations and business. It's a huge deal. It starts and stops at Founders Bar Grill. That was Founders
Boundary.
Foundry. Thank you.
All right there in Elyria?
Yeah, Elyria. That's the starting point and the ending point.
They're hosting again.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be
Yeah, that's going to be the spot.
the spot. Yeah. So if anybody can go out there and do that, then help. And I mean, you don't have to run, you don't have to ruck, you can walk at your own pace and support that.
You can volunteer to direct traffic.
Yeah, it's all
Just be
about.
involved if you want to just be involved.
Yeah, it's all about supporting veteran suicide intervention and those mental health services and resources. That's what it all goes to. Because I mean, we know it's not. People won't say it's an epidemic, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just a horrible
What's the date on
situation.
that again?
November 14th.
It's Veterans Day, right?
Is it? Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Weekend?
So,
Is that weekend?
It's always
yeah.
that.
So yeah, it's a Reps 22 race to end veteran suicide.
I mean, if you think about it, if we were losing 22 soldiers a day on a deployment, it'd be national news.
Oh,
But we're losing 22 veterans a day every day.
Yes.
And it unfortunately kind of flies under the radar sometimes.
people don't know.
One other
I
point
think that
here.
because I hate to say it, because it becomes a norm outside of our walls.
Yeah.
It becomes forgotten about, and people cloud it over with all the other trash in the news. It's unfortunate.
One other point to your question, what can the average person do? If you know somebody's struggling, or if you see that they're just not acting right, don't just ask them, hey, how you doing? And walk on, not expect an answer like you do for your waitress. Sit there and put your hand on their shoulder and say, no, how are you doing?
Because the average person will say, I'm fine.
That's how we're wired, right?
Right, yeah, keep on going, yeah. Even though I said bad, you could keep on going, because you were expecting fine. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Just
but it
really
happens.
ask the question and really
Listen.
wait for the answer.
Right.
Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to, even if it's for 2 minutes of your day.
And I think,
Save somebody's life.
I think in groups like this, you start to know people's habits and personalities. You know when someone's off, right?
Yeah.
If I see you every day or every weekend, I know that something's just off. It's like,
So I know some of the reading I did, it said that these statistics, the 22 a day, started in like 2019 when they really kind of started tracking it, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's, since the awareness is out there, is it helped? Is it lessening? Is it?
So, from what I understand, there was a dip. It started to go down, but it wasn't a significant, it wasn't. 0 is the number we're shooting for.
One is too many.
Yes, 1 is too many, way too many. But it's hovering there still.
I think their initial data was off. It's like 20.4 veterans per day, but
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, the 22 was the starting point. The number actually hasn't changed.
Just
The data was just misread, I think.
I think on this data here, it says approximately 17.
Okay, stop.
But depending on when this was pulled.
Right.
Yeah.
So it can change, I mean, it probably fluctuates.
It goes up and down.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're in another, we'll say, war.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, depending on what happens after this, we'll see where it goes.
Exposing young people to hell.
Yeah.
And that's what it's
Yeah,
about.
you're supposed to.
And it's not just suicide, right? It's not just pulling the trigger or whatever. It's the alcoholism that leads to the drugs
Oh, you don't
and
want-
different things that
You don't want to
probably-
know that number.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the deaths from that are all kind of related the same though. So
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm sure there's somebody out there pulling the data. What's the data between veterans and active duty numbers? Because
I
that's
think-
another,
I-
epidemic of people in
I
active
believe
duty.
I read that we are the highest demographic. That number is like
I mean,
well beyond
Yeah.
what the norm is.
Yeah, I know people can blame the VA, the VA, the people in the DOD. It's the resources and the lack of manning and the lack of trying to get places to. I mean, I know if you call, personal experience, you call mental health, usually within 24 hours they're calling you back. But not everybody has the same experience.
Right.
Sometimes to hear the horror stories of people calling, they're not getting called back for weeks. No, I can't get you in, 6 months.
Right.
That's unacceptable.
Right.
If we're going to put a highlight on mental health, not just PTSD, because I mean mental health is a very broad, right?
Yes.
It's everything. It's depression, it's anxiety, it's grief, it's a lot of disorders, it's military sexual trauma, TBI. It's all those things. You can't tell somebody, "Well, call me back in 6 months."
Right.
I have an appointment 8 months from now. If I'm calling you today, I have to. I'm reaching out for help. I'm reaching out for help today.
Well, at the end of the day, if we can deploy a division anywhere in the world in 24 hours, we damn sure better be able to help a veteran within 24 hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
If he's crying out,
Yeah.
not crying out, if he's hollering, if he's asking out, if he's...
I think that sometimes the
whatever
first step
that-
to it is for a veteran
that-
is hard. One, it's hard to recognize that you
Yes.
need help. The second part is to make the phone call
Right.
that I need help. And a lot of times it's an internal struggle to do that.
And it's almost a societal mindset too.
Sure.
I mean, think about, was it a month ago? We moved heaven and earth to find that one pilot and get him back.
Absolutely.
We don't leave anyone behind.
That's what we do.
Now we got to extend that to those that have already wrote that check, to your point earlier. They wrote that check, now we owe it to them to cash it.
So I think it's important, we're talking about National Military Month, but this goes for general public too. If you see something, say something, it's kind of a quirky message, but
Yeah.
if you see somebody struggling, I think this is about mental health and our friends, our family, and strangers also.
In general.
So
Yeah, it's
I
not just
think all of it
not
ties
veteran-centric.
together.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Well, what do you say we rate this last bourbon, guys, and then we'll give you guys one last chance to give that message of who, what's the next step? What's the one thing you want people to know before we cut out today?
So I'll start. Mattingly is a distillery I really like. They've got a lot of unique expressions. Every bottle they do is unique. Once this was a bottling of 500 bottles. Once it's gone, they don't ever make this recipe again. So everything they do is kind of a one-off. So it's got a lot of unique flavorings to it. It's got a lot of corn forwardness to it, which is a little jarring at first, but I do enjoy it. For 116 proof, I thought it still had a little bit more of a deep finish to it. I'm about a 3.1 on this one.
So this actually opened up after it was out of the bottle a while. I do get a little more of the caramel, the sweetness. It's a semi-bold flavor, a lot of corn, a little bit of the rye. I'm gonna put this like 3-1.
It's a little bit more bold for me, a little hot, so I think I like a 2.8. Yeah, I mean, I drink it and I have it again, but it's not going to be my go-to.
Yeah, this is more of an end of night pour, not a.
Yes.
Let's
it's
kick
not
it
that-
off.
yeah, I'm not gonna-
Last one, we're going to bed.
Yeah, you kick it off with this, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3 floor.
I'm not stepping up the swim platform. Right? So, but I enjoy it, but it's, yeah.
I want to give it a 6 because it's got a blue cord hanging on it, but that's just personal to my heart. The corn forward is definitely, but I'm going to give it a 3. I've considered these for a while.
Me, it's definitely a good pour, unique flavor. We like the J. Mattingly stuff because of that. And thank you for sharing that bottle because we know that it's going to be the last of it. There won't be no more. But
It'll go on this.
that's
one
what
of
we
the
do,
ones
though,
I'll
guys. We
keep empty.
share it. We share it. We all have our different opinions of it, and that's why people will hopefully follow us on Follow us on our Facebook and our pages. Hey, everybody's got a drink when I say that word.
And you wait till my glasses empty.
Subscribe and follow us.
That's right, so you'll know what we like or whatever, but
Right
this is probably still about a 3-2 for me. I mean, not trying to compare it to the Hooten Young, but I'd say a 3-2 because it's got a lot of flavor and everything for me.
I'm about a 3-3 on this. I like the higher proof again. And the finish, to me, if you can have a good finish on your sip, then it's always gonna get a higher score for me, just because I like that the flavor just sticks with you and feels like it means a little bit.
To understand is you like them stiff?
That's right, pretty much.
Sam's welcome back.
All right, guys, one last word for everybody. What do you want them to know? Where do you want them to go? Where can they reach out?
Main cliche, you're not alone. Get to your communities, reach out to organizations, get with your county veteran service office. Know that there's somebody out there that's willing to listen without judgment and without question.
I want to thank you guys for joining us today.
Thanks for listening.
You know, definitely we'll have you back again sometime. And, thank you guys for joining us. Do what you can. Reach out. Help those around you.
Hang in. Hang in. Hang
Remember,
on. Come on.
it's meant to be shared. Don't leave it sitting on the shelf collecting dust.
We're here for you.
Bourbon brothers on our way up, sharing every sip, sharing every cup. Everybody